Hi Pisces, welcome to your November 2024 horoscope. The month starts off with a new moon in the sign of Scorpio. This happens on November 1st. New moons represent new beginnings, a feeling of inspiration, a new start. And because for you this is happening in your 9th house, you might be starting a new educational program, maybe traveling, or if none of those apply, you could also just be starting a new sense or a new journey of figuring out your values and your belief systems. But in order to reach that inspiration, in order to start that new cycle, you do need to first face any hard feelings that you have about your values or your belief systems, any skeletons you've hidden in the closet. If you want to dive deeper into what this new moon means for you, I'll link the new moon horoscope video I posted last week. We go through all of the zodiac signs in much more detail. But for now, let's move on with the rest of the month of November, just so that we can wrap it up. And it takes a reasonable amount of time. 2 days later, on November 3rd, we have a bit more of a tense day because there are 4 planets that are opposing each other. The first pair is Jupiter opposing Venus, and the second pair is Mars opposing Pluto. The houses that are impacted for you, Pisces, are the 4th, 5th, 10th, and 11th house. For you, we see a tension on this day between wanting to focus on your family and home versus wanting to focus on your career. We see a tension between wanting to just enjoy life, be present in the moment, versus wanting to think long-term and plan for the future. Maybe delay some gratification so that you can achieve your long-term goals. So overall, this could end up being a bit of a tense day where you just feel pulled in different directions. The next day, on November 4th, we have Mars entering Pluto and the Sun trining Saturn. Mars is entering your 6th house, Pisces. So this means that you might feel much more invigorated to work on your health. Maybe you want to set up a new sleeping schedule or start a new diet. All of that, you should feel a lot more excitement around. And because of that trine between the Sun and Saturn, who are in your 1st and 9th house, we also see on this day that the hard work you've been putting into figure out who you are as a person, what really is your identity, is having a positive impact on your values and your belief systems. It's almost as if it's helping build them up and make them really, truly aligned to who you are. The next significant transit is actually quite far ahead. It's on November 11th, which is Venus entering the sign of Capricorn. For you, Pisces, this is your 11th house. So you might be bringing in a sense of harmony, a sense of beauty, into your friendships and into your long-term visions, long-term plans for the future. It could be something very tangible. Maybe you are having a beautiful dinner with candlelight with your friends. But it could be something less tangible, that maybe you are including some type of creative endeavors in your future plans, for example. A couple of days later, on November 15th, we will have a full moon in the sign of Taurus. This is happening in your 3rd house, Pisces. And full moons signal a sort of culmination of our previous efforts. This could mean a result of the hard work we have put in, or it could mean a consequence in case we have been making decisions out of our ego, out of our desire to stick to society standards, whatever it may be. Because this is happening in your third house, you might especially be reaping consequences when it comes to communication. You could be reaping any consequences or seeing any results with your neighbors or your siblings. Maybe they are the ones that are really experiencing this full moon. Or it could be that the efforts or lack of efforts you've put in cultivating those relationships are also now sort of showing their results. This full moon is conjunct Uranus. So this manifestation, these realizations, this culmination could come unexpectedly, could come as a surprise because of that. And at the same time as this full moon, we actually have Saturn just about to go direct, and we have Venus squaring the north and the south node. With Saturn just about to go direct, we see again this theme coming up of you will reap what you sowed. If you put in the hard work, you will see the results. And with the North Node and the South Node being involved this full moon, I also see this as a sense of the things we're reaping around this full moon are also for our soul's evolution. They're in the end for our own good. A couple of days later, on the 19th of November, we do have Pluto entering the sign of Aquarius. For you Pisces, this is your 12th house. And yeah, what could we say? You're about to enter a 20-year period where you are really learning to have compassion for humanity. You're really learning to understand that underneath our jobs, underneath the way we look, underneath the type of cars we drive, the clothes we wear, we are all humans. You will come to realize the power, the meaning a spiritual practice can bring into your life. If these all sound like huge themes, don't worry. You have 20 years to work with this energy. Pluto will be in your 12th house for about 20 years. For the sake of this horoscope, I will just leave this transit at that. But if you're super curious and you want to learn more, you can check out this video. It's a live that I did a while back. Honestly, it's 1.5 hours long. We go through all of the zodiac signs in a lot more detail. So do check that out if you're interested. Closely thereafter, on November 21st, the sun also enters a new sign, which is the sign of Sagittarius. And as it does that, it sextiles Pluto. Because this sextile is happening between your 10th and 12th house, I do want you to pay close attention to what's happening with your career at your workplace around this time. They might be giving you the clues of what will get the fire going, the clues of what might be the theme with this Pluto and Aquarius transit for the next 20 years. We wrap up the month with a grand trine in the fire signs. So this is a grand trine between Mars, the North Node, and the Sun. Keep in mind, this grand trine doesn't ever get exact. It doesn't actually happen on one day. But rather it's an energy that's sort of spread out over 5 days. First, we sort of have Mars in the North Node in trine. The Sun is close by, but not quite in trine. Then it sort of comes in and trines the North Node. But then Mars is a little bit off. And then finally it catches up with Mars and trines Mars as well. So all of this takes place during a period of 5 days. So honestly, I do feel like we will feel this more harmonious, flowing energy during the 22nd and the 27th of November. For you Pisces, this grand trine is happening in your 2nd, 6th, and 10th houses. So honestly, you could be feeling much more motivated. You could be feeling just a general sense of ease when it comes to your career, when it comes to you being of service to others and your role in society. You could be finding that money is just flowing more to you, or that your self-confidence is just coming without end. So I do hope you enjoy this wonderful energy to close off the month with. So that's everything I have for you today, Pisces. I hope you enjoyed this horoscope. I hope it makes you look forward to the month of November. And I hope you enjoy it. Let me know down in the comments which transit you're the most excited about for the month of November. Don't forget, if you want to catch the more in-depth full moon horoscope that's coming later in November, then make sure you hit that subscribe button so that you don't miss it. I hope to see you again soon.